Chapter 5, Season 4 is now here, and with it comes a lot of new changes. This video is going to go over all the new items, locations, and medallions that are now part of the season. Let's start with some of the weapons. To kick things off, we have the dual Micro SMG. This gun has an insane fire rate of 18 bullets per second, with the gold variant dealing 13 damage dropping down to 7, and the gray variant starting at 9 dropping down to 5. Its headshot multiplier increases damage by 50%. It has a magazine size of 32 bullets and has a reload time of 2.09 seconds for gray, up to 1.71 for gold. Here's the rest of the rarities for reload time, and also the mind-boggling amount of damage per second this weapon does. Using this weapon feels like it has zero recoil, and that combined with the fact that this weapon shoots 2 bullets at the same time really makes it a viable option for build fights. Next up, we have the Monarch Pistol. I think the best way to describe this weapon is if you combined a mammoth pistol and a 6-shooter, except this gun has a magazine size of 7, with the mythic version having 9. It deals anywhere from 39 to 49 damage with a hipfire, but if you aim down sights with this gun, it has a massive damage increase. And unlike the dual Micro SMG, this weapon can be modified, which means you can put a scope on it for even more effectiveness. Overall, this weapon is very powerful at medium to long range, and is a really good choice if you're going to start a fight with a good health advantage. Let's talk about the Sovereign Shotgun. This shotgun feels like an auto shotgun, but once you aim in, it acts like a pump. Similar to the Monarch Pistol, the tightness of the spread when you ADS will drastically improve your damage. The weapon deals between 82.8 to 105.3 damage with a body shot, which means it deals 5 more damage for each rarity. Its headshot has an 85% increase. The shotgun also has some insane range, and only stops doing damage after 50 meters. Its damage drop-off doesn't even really hit until about 20 meters. The shotgun has 6 shells and can be modded just like many other Chapter 5 weapons. However, you cannot modify the magazine on this shotgun. The shotgun is a very well-rounded choice, and it may thrive best in zero build. Next up, returning from Chapter 3, we have the Striker Burst Assault Rifle. We now have the ability to modify it. It's gotten some buffs since Chapter 3, dealing more damage with an increased fire rate and a quicker reload. However, it will be strange that this assault rifle does not have the scope by default unless you find one with the attachment pre-installed. It's also interesting that this is only the second burst weapon of Chapter 5, the first being the Thunderburst SMG. The Striker Burst does 29 to 37 damage and has a headshot multiplier of 50%. It has a clip size of 20, but this can be increased to 30 with a drum mag. Here's the Striker Burst damage per second. Finally, we have some of the Marvel items. Starting with Captain America's shield. This works the same way as it did in the Chapter 1 LTM, but for those who don't know, you can use it to block attacks and throw it at other players. The shield will bounce off all players in near vicinity and then return to you. It also will do damage to structures, so you can use it to make pre-fire plays. Next is the Doom Gauntlets, which are relatively the same from the last Marvel season, except with faster fire rate, more damage, and an overheat mechanic. Finally, we have the War Machine items. This could be a jet booster, which allows you to hover and dash forwards, an auto turret on your back that locks onto enemy players and deals 5 burst damage, or War Machine's Arsenal, which has an automatic weapon and a rocket barrage. That's all for the new weapons, but we also have the return of the Striker Assault Rifle, Combat Assault Rifle from last season, Ranger Pistol, Hammer Pump Shotgun, Gatekeeper Shotgun, the Hyper SMG, and Shockwave Grenades. Now that we know about the weapons on the map, let's see what to expect of the map itself. There are 4 new locations on the map: the Raft, Doomstad, Doom's Courtyard, and Castle Doom. These locations have replaced Pleasant Piazza, Lavish Lair, and Classy Courts. You can still find all other locations of the map, including those from last season. I'm not going to go into full detail on the new locations, we can save that for another video. However, it is good to know that the Avengers chests from Chapter 2 Season 4 have returned for this season, along with the Doom chests that are just a reskin version. These chests usually will grant blue or better loot, as well as a Doom or Avenger themed item. Now that we know about the weapons that we're working with, let's move on to the medallions. Just like last season, we have 3 medallions on the map. The first is held by Dr. Doom himself over at Castle Doom. Defeating him will grant you a Syphon medallion that heals 50 damage after an elimination, a mythic Monarch Pistol, and of course his Gauntlets. The second one is held by Mysterio at Doomstad. He drops the Stealth medallion and a mythic Sovereign Shotgun. Let's make one thing clear. For casual players, this medallion is a fun item, as it will cloak you anytime you crouch. However, for players trying to play a bit more competitively, this medallion might be the worst of them all. The cloak can still be noticed if a player is paying attention. The worst part is if you are in the middle of reloading your gun or using heals, you cannot crouch or you will trigger the medallion, which will cancel whatever you're trying to do. Plus, just like any medallion, it will tighten your location on the map, which isn't helpful if all the medallion does is hide. 0 out of 10. The last medallion just makes the stealth one even worse. This is the reveal medallion, held by Emma Frost at the raft. It will ping nearby enemies in a large radius every minute or so. And no, before you try it, it won't ping players again if you drop it and pick it up again. Emma Frost also drops the Mythic Striker Burst Assault Rifle. That's everything new for the new season. But one quick honorable mention is that car pickaxing works again. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be on the lookout for more analytic videos similar to this throughout the season. I'll be depicting specific items, specific locations, all at the request of my subscribers. Until then, this has been Crunchy. Peace.